straight in with some of the Facebook comments that I've seen that have come through regarding this issue. Firstly, here's one. Obviously, the pedestrian ignored the facts. It wasn't the place to cross the road, and also should cross by making distance shortest as possible, instead of crossing it diagonally like that without even looking back. Speed was also an issue, but road is not for walking unless in white stripes. See, people are making excuses. Okay, the next one. Little man ran into the car. The side of the car is what hit him. Okay, another one. He ran towards. If he ran backwards, he might still be alive. Okay, here's a good one. Ghetts shouldn't have been speeding, but the guy crossing the road like a snail and paying no attention whatsoever. The guy crossing the road is partly to blame with bad road crossing safety. You should always look both ways when crossing, so I'm 50-50 on this one. As like an adult you are responsible to cross the road safely and not doodle across the road like you're indestructible. Suppose he found out the hard way. Another one. If he looked left, would have seen the car and been able to stop and let car pass. Instead, didn't look and only heard the car when it was too late. Car was pretty noisy as well. Imagine if it was a Tesla, you wouldn't even have heard nothing. So you always should look, especially when it's dark. Everybody knows people drive fast at night. It is a fact, unfortunately. Here's an exchange between two people. All the comments on his sister, like free Ghetts, is just what's wrong with that type of community. Person comes back and says, and what's that type of community then? Exactly what community are you talking about? See, a little deflection there, that little deflection, you know what I mean? They deflect rather than address issues, okay? Here's one. See, them phones and headphones are no joke. You have to pay attention to the road at all times. Another one. If you're going to cross the road, do it. If you're going to cross the road, do it the shortest distance. Why take so long to cross on the road at night time too? Okay. Now, I've had people that I know that know Ghetts personally call him by his first name and have told me blatantly things similar. For example, the guy who was drunk. He was wearing dark clothing. It was nighttime, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Now, in addition to this, we've also heard from, the guy's mother. Okay? So let's get into that quickly. In response to Ghetts saying he's sorry. Sorry doesn't bring my son back, she said quietly. But if he truly means it, if he really understands what he's taking from us, then maybe that's where justice begins. Okay? Now, it's been said, her words have gone viral, sparking a wave of emotional debate online. Some praised her for her showing compassion in the face of an unimaginable loss. Others were furious, arguing an apology isn't enough when a life has been taken. Okay? Now, moving on. There's a number of aspects that need to be looked at, okay? Before I move on, rest in peace to Yubin Taming, the Nepalese 20-year-old that was hit by Ghetts' car in this unfortunate incident, okay? Now, number of quick things to look at, and I'll go through these very quickly, okay? Age is a factor to me. Ghetts is 40. He's a big man. He was driving that car like a young ute, okay? From what I saw there, his foot was down. I'm going to put an excuse here saying if Ghetts was driving an electric car, for example, and it malfunctioned, that's the only excuse I can give. So maybe it was a Tesla and it malfunctioned. I can give you that. But apart from that, big man of 40 was speeding. That for me is unacceptable. Don't forget, Mayor Khan has reduced the speed on the roads to 20 miles per hour. So if you're doing 90 or 70, then boy, I can't help you. Okay? Now, as I said in the previous video, it might be an ego thing. Obviously, he's had previous for this kind of thing before. So maybe he came back from a party, he's on a bit of a boost, put his foot down. You know, these things happen. Maybe he wanted to relive those previous moments. And obviously thought, you know, I've moved on, nothing bad will happen. Sometimes people do crazy things on the idea that nothing bad will happen. That may have been what's happened here. Okay? Listen, if it was my own son, I wouldn't defend him. Any family member did this, I couldn't defend him. Okay? And there's also another issue that I've picked up when I've read some comments. Okay? Some people are saying, for example, full condolences and thoughts go out to the victim, and full thoughts go out to Ghetts' family too. Okay? Now, when you do that, you create an indirect false equivalence. Okay? You're putting a parity between the two, like they're both on the same keel. Yeah, they're not. Okay? You got it right the first time. Condolences to that poor Nepalese boy, Yabin Tumang, his name, and condolences to his family. Okay? Right. Okay. Now, some people have said it was a long, empty road. The kid should have looked. It's a long road. He looked where he's going. I can also argue, in return, that Ghetts should have seen the long road and had plenty of time too to see the obstacle, which was the guy. So it cuts both ways. That argument cuts both ways. More so, Ghetts falls more on Ghetts because he's the one driving, okay, and he's the one speeding. So he should have been more alert than the guy crossing the road. Because when the guy did cross the road, he was not staggering. He wasn't drunk. None of that is true. He crossed the road normally and got hit by the car. That's it. Okay? Ghetts should have slowed down and looked. Because the road was clear. Because the road was clear, he had more time to observe. Okay? Now, people say everybody makes mistakes. I've heard this online too, but there's levels to a mistake. When you go into something knowing that something could go wrong, that's one thing. But here, there's levels to a mistake. Okay? Now, what I don't want you people doing is doing something off key, like if it was true that it was alleged that he was drinking, I don't want you having a petition or a campaign blaming the drinks company. For example, if it was Moet and he drank a lot of Moet champagne, I don't want people saying, yeah, man, it was the Moet, you know. Let's blame Moet. Moet should not sell drinks no more or have drinks served in Moet in bars and clubs after a certain time. Because that's when people get in their car and leave. No, we don't want that either. Okay? Accept responsibility. Accept accountability. Okay? Now, listen. I'll say this. If this was a black people's court, yeah? If this was black people court, yeah, he would walk. He'd walk free. Or maximum 2 years. Because you like him. Simple as that. And I'll say this. I've not seen anybody go in hard in the comments. In any Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok. No one's gone in hard. Okay? Twitter, no one's gone in hard on him. Okay? There's a little level of sympathy there. Because I think people like him. Okay? So, there's that to consider. You know what I mean? But ultimately, yeah, that's it. Okay? That's it. So basically, boy, some people are saying in some of these cases, there's very light sentences. I get that. But in those cases, there's